Feeling lost doesn't mean you're beyond hope. In fact, it means you care enough to notice that something isn't right, that you want more for yourself, even if you don't know what that looks like yet. Healing takes time, and rediscovering your direction is a journey, not a switch you can flip overnight. Give yourself grace. Start small. Remember that every step, no matter how tiny, is a victory. You are not defined by this moment. You are simply finding your way. It's easy to label yourself when you don't feel productive. It's easy to believe that your worth is tied to your output, that if you're not constantly moving, achieving, doing, then you're failing. But that's a lie, a dangerous one. The truth is, when you're lost, when life has taken the map you are following and set it on fire, movement feels impossible. Motivation doesn't come from shame. It comes from connection, from clarity, from meaning. And when you're lost, those things feel far away. So no, it's not that you don't care. It's that you're tired of caring and still feeling stuck. It's not that you're lazy. It's that you've been in survival mode for so long, your system doesn't know what rest without guilt feels like. It's not that you lack ambition. It's that life has worn you down. So many times, you've forgotten what hope even looks like. But you're here now, reading this, breathing, searching. And that means your story is still being written. They'll tell you to just snap out of it, to try harder, as if you haven't already, as if you haven't laid awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong with you, wondering why you can't seem to do the things that once came so easily. But there is nothing wrong with you. You're just hurt. You're just healing. You're just human. We don't talk enough about how disorienting it is to go through a silent kind of suffering. The kind that doesn't leave visible scars, the kind that lives in your chest like a fog, clouding your vision and muffling your voice. The kind that doesn't make headlines, but makes it hard to get out of bed. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be found. Not by someone else, but by yourself. And that begins with grace. Give yourself grace. Not because you're not responsible for your life, but because you are, and shame is not the way forward. Grace is. Start by acknowledging that you are doing the best you can with what you have. And right now, what you have is a heart that still beats, lungs that still breathe, and a soul that somehow is still reaching for light. That's more than enough to begin again. You don't have to take massive leaps. You don't have to suddenly become someone else. You just have to take one step, one small act of self-kindness, or one moment of honesty, one breath, where you say to yourself, maybe I'm not lazy, maybe I'm just lost, and maybe that's okay for now. Being lost doesn't mean you'll never be found. It just means you're on a path that's not clear yet. And sometimes the most important journeys begin in the wilderness. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to uncover the real you. The one who isn't just performing for approval, who isn't chasing a version of success that was never truly yours. This is your comeback story, but it won't look like anyone else's. It won't be linear, it won't be loud, it might be messy, it might be slow, but it will be yours. And it starts not with motivation, but with meaning. Not with pushing yourself harder, but with understanding yourself deeper. Ask yourself, not with judgment, but with curiosity, what pain haven't I faced? What fear am I avoiding? What dreams did I abandon? Not because they weren't mine, but because I was told they weren't realistic. You're not lazy. You've just been taught to silence your own needs. You've been taught to ignore the signals of burnout, to hustle through the hurt, to keep going, even when your soul is screaming for rest. But now you know better, and knowing better means choosing differently, not out of guilt, not out of pressure, but out of love. Love for the person you're becoming, love for the little pieces of you that are still fighting, love for the version of you that's been through hell and is still, somehow, breathing. And that's the key. You're still breathing, which means life hasn't given up on you, which means hope isn't dead, which means purpose isn't gone. You may be broke, you may be broken, but you're not done. The fog will lift, the energy will return, the clarity will come. But until it does, hold on to this truth. You are not lazy, you are just lost, and it's okay to be lost for a while. What matters is that you don't give up on finding your way. What matters is that you don't give up on you. So tomorrow morning or the one after that, when you wake up and feel like you can't move, like you've already failed before the day begins, remember this moment. Remember that being lost is not the end of the road. It's the place where the map begins to redraw itself. And this time, the map will be yours, not anyone else's. This time, the destination will be true, not just impressive. And when you do find your way, when the fog begins to lift and you begin to feel like yourself again, you'll look back and realize it was never laziness. It was always pain. It was always confusion. It was always the journey to becoming real. This is your comeback story. It's okay if the pace is slow. It's okay if you're still figuring it out. Just don't stop walking. Don't stop breathing. Don't stop believing that there's more for you than this lost feeling. Because there is. And you're not alone. You never were. You're not lazy. You're just lost. And now, you're finding your way home.